Family immigration to the US is one of the most stable methods of immigration, which is still the leader among all possible options for immigration to the United States of America. In this video, I will answer the most frequently asked questions about processing a visa for a fiancé and a spouse to the United States. Look this video to the end so as not miss important information. Subscribe to our channel right now. Just one click and you will receive a complete set of step-by-step instructions for immigration to the USA and other countries. How to collect the documents correctly, how and what forms to fill out. You will find answers to all these questions on our channel, so subscribe right now. Let's start with the visa for a fiancé. Let me remind you that in order to apply for a fiancé visa, a resident of the United States of America must be a citizen, and the couple must also see each other at least once within the last 2 years at the time of submitting a petition. This meeting will need to be confirmed by documents, for example, providing photographs, stamps from passport, tickets, hotel or apartment bookings. If we are talking about marriage with a US citizen or green card holder, you will need to provide a marriage certificate as well as confirmation of the relationship, correspondence, photos, sending money to each other, letters from relatives or friends confirming that you are really a couple. I really ask you to be as responsible as possible in the preparation and submission of documents at each stage. If you do it yourself, then carefully read all the official instructions and do not skip anything. The result of this process greatly affects your life. I saw situations when happy couples actually broke up simply because, for example, the ex-husband did not give permission for the child to leave, or there was not enough money for sponsorship, or they simply submitted insufficient or incorrect documents. Do not experiment, it's not the time for that. If you doubt something or cannot come up with solutions for your situation, look for a lawyer. If it's not possible for you to pay for all services, get at least consultation and answers to the most important questions from a lawyer who knows US immigration law. The most popular question I'm usually asked by couples who are just planning to get married is which visa should we choose, visa for a spouse or a fiancé? And is it true that obtaining a fiancé visa will be faster? Now I will answer in detail how the situation looks like for today. Before the pandemic, we saw a rather quick review of petition for fiancés and a longer one for spouses of US citizens, which of course made the choice towards fiancés due to the fact that the fiancé could get to the United States faster. But over the past year, we have seen situations where petitions of wives are considered faster than fiancés. Of course, the decision which type of petition and visa to choose must be made individually by the couple. The main difference between a visa for a fiancé and the wife is that a spouse arriving in the United States already starts the process of receiving a green card, receives a work permit and has all the rights like a US citizen with some exceptions. I highly recommend considering this option primarily for those who move to the United States with children. When obtaining a fiancé visa, the process of obtaining the green card is a little delayed, since upon arrival you will need to marry within 90 days, then to apply for a change of status and for the green card based on a marriage, and this process can take up to 10-12 months. But this option of moving is very suitable for those who want to come to the US for the first time, see the country, and only then decide whether they are definitely ready to move to the United States of America. Another difference between applying for a visa for a fiancé and a spouse is the way to submit the petition. In the case of filling a petition for a spouse, the form is submitted online. All documents are also uploaded online, and the petition number, which you can use to track the status in the future, you will receive immediately after paying the fee for its consideration. Also, you will immediately receive a notice of action online that is an official document in which you can see the name of the service center responsible for your petition and look at the USCIS website for the estimated time frame for its consideration. I will leave the link in the description. In the case of filling a petition for a fiancé, everything is submitted only in paper form. You will need to print all the documents and forms and mail them to the USCIS. The main disadvantage of this procedure is that in practice you will receive the notice in a month or two at best, since your package of documents will have a long way until it lands on the desk of the officer who will work with it. This means that you will need to add this deadline to the general time frames for considering the petition. Moreover, by submitting a petition online, you can independently control which documents you upload and be sure that the officer will definitely receive what you want to provide him or her. And if you do not know how to fill out a petition and how to properly prepare documents for your situation, contact me and I will help you to do everything correctly and provide the officer with the most complete package of documents to avoid additional requests from USCIS. How can you get married if your partner doesn't have a visa to the United States and it's impossible to get one now due to pandemic restrictions, but you want to get a visa exactly for a spouse? These are two options. You can come to your partner's country of residence and marry there, or you can meet on the territory of a third country and marry there. The main thing is to get an official document confirming the marriage. Before organizing a trip, be sure to consult with a lawyer and clarify all the nuances and necessary documents for marriage. In case of marriage registration on the territory of the third country, be sure to find out if you can do this if you do not have citizenship or residence permit in this country. And of course, I cannot fail to mention the nuances that we encountered during the pandemic. In the case of any restrictions, for example, proclamations, limited work of the embassies, the wives of US citizens always remained a priority, and they are usually not subject to these difficulties. So, for example, starting from the pandemic in 2020, it was quite problematic even to sign up fiancés for an interview, since the US embassies in the CIC countries didn't work with this category of visas, while the wives of the US citizens were interviewed, received visas, and left for the USA. Of course, everyone has their own situation, but before signing and submitting a petition, I strongly recommend you and your partner talk to a lawyer who deals with the immigration to the USA, find out all the information that may affect you right now, the time frame for consideration of documents at the moment, in order to be able to plan the strategy of your move as accurately as possible. Leave a like if you like this video, share in the comments your stories of family immigration in the USA and which option you choose and why. This information will be very useful for those who are just planning to deal with issues of moving to the USA. And of course, right now click the subscribe button and the bell so as not to miss new videos about family immigration to the United States of America.